from the 18th of the second month of 1442 to the High Priest with the King of Swords and 5 of Cups reversed. She takes up the methods of the feminine and masculine entwined to raise up from her scriptures. Before each hashtag, he contemplates using his suture. Watching the hunt, it is like no one quite has their way. Before me and behind me, it's the love out in nature. Considering the matter further, it seems that I am an inheritor of more elixir. Communicating needs to be more than about power. Be ready to be a sacrificer. Reflecting on life's missions, we see the outer gate and open the inner. And this light, there's a glare on the thing, but what are your initial impressions of the cards and the poem at hand?
I got the impression, like with the High Priestess, like beauty, beautiful things, and just not really happiness, but like a feeling of joy. You know, there could be a little bit of a difference between like a feeling of joy and happiness. It seems like a feeling of joy, you know, comes and goes, but the happiness will kind of linger a little bit, you know. I felt a lot of earth, and I felt good works to be accomplished, and it's something to do with like working with the earth. I can kind of see the cards, but that's just what came to my mind. I try to jot them down, write them down as I go, but and I don't know where this is coming from, but like a rocky terrain.
A rocky terrain.
A rocky terrain.
Oh, I guess if I'm here, see if somehow, so if I'm sitting in front of it, I can, but yeah, I can't get the glare with the light.
Yeah.
So, okay, the High Priest here.
Yeah.
Well, the High Priestess.
Joy.
So well, she's between two pillars, but you don't really see the dark pillar and the light pillar, the Baz and the Yekyan, as they're called in the Bible. But every form of in the Bible, the ceremonial magic and stuff like this, doesn't start with the Bible. It doesn't start with Judaism. But you see her between two things, and there's either it's a grimoire or it's her Book of Shadows, which aren't exactly the same thing, because if it was a grimoire, it would only be the spells. It would only be the book about the methods and stuff. So, like I have here, you know, this book I have here, where I take my notes of my dreams and my spiritual practices and stuff like this. But this isn't a grimoire. It does list what I did, like for example, today, what did I do? I put this stone on my head, on my forehead. I recited the 19th Enochian key with the 19th Enochian author. But before that, like I often do on a Friday, not only do I try to wear green on a Friday, well, I can always wear green if I wanted to, but yeah, you know, I generally will make a point of wearing green on Friday.
Oh,
But you know, I took some pine oil, and so I did my usual thing with 5 points of you know
mhm.
of pine oil, and then I laid down and did my thing. Um,
That's interesting. Today, I felt like I should wear red, and I've had the patchouli oil
oh,
that
the
I've
red and
had.
green dragon intertwining on the thing.
Mhm,
So sort of the Susuma, you know, the channels of the vital
mhm.
air and that sort of thing going on there.
Is it
The
like the
face is like
trans?
dead. Why'd they pick like a dead look on the face?
Right.
But that
Well,
reminds me, what do you do in these techniques? It's not just you increase things, other things you decrease. Like um like when I found out the method, the 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 brain function and stuff, why people like see their dead relatives and that sort of thing, is because right here they can reduce the brain activity, especially if they've been drinking, which is not a good idea to include in that
right.
practice. But because then you know the combining brain image with from the alcohol and the practice is not a good thing. Um, and that, and you don't want to lose any sense of impulse control when you do have experiences. You want to be full on in it and whatnot.
True.
But you can have these interactive memories and stuff. So instead of taking ecstasy and other stuff to deal with your trauma, you can actually invoke this thing.
Right.
And if you do this technique, you can also combine it with the beta endorphin, so you can actually provide some sort of euphoric sort of sense with
Yeah.
with the practice. So you reduce where the temporal and parietal lobe meets, you reduce the activity, but you can reduce the activity without things. So that's what I'm thinking, this pale face right there.
I did the meditation of the E, you know, and it was after, it was a little, I'm going to guess 2 minutes. It was after 2 minutes, maybe into 3 minutes. I felt that, right there. And I focused it there and kept it there. And it really produced um, a difference in feeling. I'll put it that way, a difference in feeling, just by simply doing you breathing in and then out, you're like, e. And even my voice changed after like the
Well,
first minute.
that's one of the things with some of the formulas is they will change. It will change the way that you say it, and you put it. You want to focus it on different areas of the body and stuff like that.
Right.
Then
Wow.
and so the two lines here, you know, to bring this closer of this card is she takes up the methods of the feminine. My file. And the masculine entwined to raise up from her scriptures. Reflecting on life's missions, we see the outer gate and open the inner. But see, so you have the esoteric, the exoteric, and then you have the ethnic. So that's another way that you can look at. Sometimes you have three symbols,
Hmm.
and the three symbols can sort of indicate that. And so the next card that we have here is the King of Swords, and
King of Swords. He's powerful. I just felt power and royalty and but kindness.
there's no reason why it should flash in and out like that. But
Yeah.
So he's very blue, which makes you think of air, and there's obviously some yellow there. But what is he? He's like he's on a mountaintop and there's a plain. So the yellow's not green, but there's fields down there below. But maybe it's cultivated, maybe it's useful because there's like some flowers or something with it or something.
He sits up high.
And so what is his
He knows.
Before each hashtag, he contemplates using his suture, communicating needs to be more than about power. Be ready to be a sacrificer. And so it's a very mental card. And so the 5 of Cups is reversed, and 3 below, 2 above. But in this case, I guess maybe you'd reverse that if it's not such a. Okay, come on. I'm trying to set that. Feel free to share your thought. I'm trying to. Come on. It shouldn't be so difficult to get this thing to work here. But then maybe it wasn't meant. Maybe it wasn't meant for people to do tarot card shows or something.
That's it. I felt
Because see, he's stepping forward. But it's sort of a cautious step.
Yeah, cautious, but he's wanting to take that step.
Watching the hunt, it is like no one quite has their way. Before me and behind me is the love out in nature. Considering the matter further, it seems that I am an inheritor of more elixir. Well, see, people with a lot of stuff, because see, you got the 2 things. But this isn't about possession. This card isn't so much about possessions. But the see, they focus on what's the past rather than what they have. So they got that. So I'm thinking, because I've gone through more,
Right.
It's like most people, for example. Now, I'm not so convinced, and I don't know, that most of my life is over with. And there's somebody I've wanted to have as a guest on this channel that most of their life is over with, and they're younger than me. But how many years they have left, who knows that stuff. But yeah, people focus on the 5 cards usually aren't so good in the deck, right?
That's what I was thinking. Something about the 5 isn't so good. Now, what is it?
Okay, so seasonal cards. I said I was gathering something related to your birthday here. So so we got the full. We have the Ace of Flamingos, the Page of Flamingos, and those are of the warming quarter of the year. And the month cards here are the King of Hats and the Star. And we have the quinary card, so the 10, the 3rd of the month. We have the 2 of the hearts is the hats. Okay, it doesn't say hats on this one, so I just want to make sure because there's different names, right? And then the day card would be the Tower card. It's like, okay, I'm taking my. This isn't easy, but I'm taking my animals with me.
Right on.
Of course, there's a. I don't get today. So what do we have here that's different here? Okay, so what's that hedgehog here? He's got Instead of a dog, he's got a hedgehog. Yeah, I would have a hedgehog instead of a dog, but I wouldn't. Wouldn't make it
wonder if
very good. Or an armadillo or something like that. The but then
Sparky-
again, can you really let those things run around your living room and all that?
Right. Somebody's gonna get
Because
stuck.
I thought of doing that. I thought of getting a saluted tortoise. It's the third largest tortoise, except for I guess that one that they recently found that's bigger too. So maybe it's the fourth largest extant tortoise, but it's the largest one you can legally have. And you can take it
Oh,
outside. It will eat grass. It's cheaper. It's cheaper than a box turtle.
and
To
it
take
can't
care
get
of.
away from you.
But the thing is, so it would probably seat itself in front of the heater in the winter,
Yeah.
and I'd have to wait for the days that are warmer, and I have to bring it in weeds, and and if I had the run of the house, I'd have it run around the house, and I wouldn't have the door propped open. Like it's like just open and shut the door when you're bringing things in. Don't open the door for half an hour and then but the okay, so he's sort of, it's sort of like something you see for St. Patrick's Day, don't you think?
Yeah.
So St. Patrick's Day being that time of year is enough sense. And what's all this 10/6 of in this life 10/6? Oh, in this style 10/6. It's in the card thing, isn't it? Next month I'll read the thing, and so I'll write a series around these cards, and I'll obviously have the information of the card down a little bit. And like there's a little ball like in the sun rays for some reason. But he's on a cliff and there's mountains and stuff, so it's pretty normal looking. The page is always in the aces. What does he not want to play because he knows it hurts the flamingo? So that's what's going on there.
Maybe.
But because I remember that they'd be whacking the ball with the animal.
Yeah. Yeah. He don't want to hurt the animal.
And
He wants
so
no damage.
this ace here is same thing. But you're holding more firmly, like you've got it all. Like you got the chief club, but in this, well, it's not a club, it's a emplacement of the swords card. So your reptile and your mammal nature, either they got to be cast off or they need to go through things with you. But did he break the glass? See, it's gonna cost them too. So, but you do need to impact if you are going to make development in life, you do have to, impact what you thought you were and put certain aspects of yourself through difficulty in order to make those sides of yourself work differently. The star is different. What is this, like a griffin or something there?
Yeah.
So it's resting by the water. So the water is the new information and all that. You got the Pleiades. A lot's been talked about the Pleiadians and all that stuff, and
I heard something about that. Yeah, Pleiadians and something else.
It's like if you call yourself an Arcturian, really you're calling yourself a circus master, which doesn't imply things as, so what, you're a drama queen that's stirring stuff up? Is that what you mean when you call yourself Arcturian? And so, we have the Two of Cups. Well, see, that was one of the things. I remember I got an argument with somebody who's like, but it wasn't like the arguments of other people. It was just the first argument, or the only argument significantly or something. But but yeah, it was like nothing. But honestly, ever people talk, oh, soulmates and all that. It's like, that doesn't mean you're going to agree on everything.
Right.
And what the cat's sitting by, kind of making saying, ha ha ha, look at you. And so we have the king of hats. He's all alone. He's set himself in the turbulent waters, and what is he, a beggar?
Oh, he's sad.
And I guess
It's
I'll open this
lovely.
for another one when this gets through, but obviously you can definitely share your thoughts with this too, or in less than a minute.
Mhm.
So anything you have to say about any of these cards?
Just that it's